Yes. Maybe for yes or those who don't know, because I am the big number, the one that I came with. My names are Frank, my name, and I have a very interesting story. Although I will be very brief, because it's so big, ma'am. So it's very big, and I don't think I will be able to share it all. I was born in the part of Nairobi, and I grew here. At the age of 17, when my life became horrible, because I started using heroin and cocaine at the age of 17, and from there, drugs introduced me to crime. I've been in so many jails, that the jail that I have not entered in Kenya is that jail that was made after being free born again. Before the correction center in Kenya, and one thing that I love about God is that when God meets you, you get it. It doesn't matter the cost, you get it. Remember, at that age, I wanted to be like any other young man in this club of Nairobi. A place called Isili. Those who have visited Kenya, they know a place called Isili, where we have so many businesses. So, because I wanted to be like somebody, and because I cannot say it's peer pressure, me I can say that is what I decided to engage in. Because I remember during that time, that place was really in Nairobi, in Kenya, whereby we had so many visitors, foreigners, even today, people from other countries, Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, Somalia, Ethiopia. That is the place they live. Even now, we have so many people from other countries. So drugs entered that place in a very early years. The last years of 89, early years of 90s. So when I started engaging to drugs, we all know, and I know that drugs are very expensive, and I didn't have anything to do. So for me to support my activity, what I did is I joined a group of young men so that we can be able to terrorize people, get some money that we can be able to support our heart. I can say that the money that we get is to support our heart. Because I remember during those years, we didn't have a forum like the New Lives or any setup whereby we can come and be taught. That is time we were on our own. You have started your drugs alone, then you finish it alone. And my life was from one jail to another, because in the business of finding to support your heartbeat, you always clash with the law. So my life became we have that's step number one in a recovery. I say that when your life become unmanageable. I think now my life was unmanageable. From one police station to another, from one police station to another. I remember even my pictures was all over the place that I used to live. I could walk in the street and I could find my name on that. I wanted somebody. I had 4 houses. In Nairobi, we are at the outskirts of Nairobi. We have slums. So I used to have 4 houses in different slums. But because of fear, I could not be able to sleep even those houses. They were a nearby forest called Kanura. So I used to go there, right there, because anytime I could see police car, even that one that is going for a gun, I thought these people are they are just after me. So when they continue to be bad, it continue to be bad until the time maybe you have seen maybe those are result of, because from one level of criminality to high level. It started by snatching, golden king. By that time we had so many Indians in our place. We chase them, they go to another extent, we follow them. snatch bags, vandalize vehicles, anything that we could be able to say like side mirror, we continue like that. We started stealing the whole vehicle. Now the life continued to be bad until one day we were introduced. Do you know one thing I know that spirit intermarries? Spirits intermarries. We found another guy who was the leader of another guy who was surprised that we can be able to find spare parts. So he said no, because even selling this spare part, you cannot sell to anybody else. So you have to buy. So I want to show you how to get money, quick money, without taking something to go and sell. That is the time I'm meeting another guy who was the most wanted by them, called Kashwin from Kenya. So he introduced us to his group, whereby he introduced us to robbery, doing robberies in Nairobi. And remember those days we are doing robbery on daylight, because we are under influence of drugs. You could do anything. Remember even one day I was carrying gun on my place. To a place, it reached a point where my friends would tell me, are you normal? You are not a police. In Uganda, I have seen everybody. In Uganda, you have seen even security, they have guns. In Kenya, if you are not police, you cannot carry a gun because you will be killed. So, those days, I remember the way you see Ugandans, even those who are not police carrying gun, because we are under influence. I did remember that I'm carrying gun. So, my friend, they would tell me, either we will kill you or because now people will know that we are working together. So that's how drugs can, and far drugs can take you. I remember there's this one, I don't know if in Uganda or in America they use this one. We say, taste me and you marry those drugs. When you taste drugs, that is correct. Yeah, you take the drug, the heroin today, it take over of your life. So I remember I could introduce so many young people to drugs in various ways. Some would invite them, cook tea, combine tea with the drugs. So you see, the more you become evil, the more you want to have a group of people who can support you in that area. So it's continue like this, and I have said I want to cut it, maybe short, because it's a story that you cannot finish in one day. Now, where things started becoming so vast is when, before I was shot, remember I had detained in one well-known facility in Nairobi called Masters Law. It's called Nyawas. Because I had two guns. One I had snatched from the police. So now I was told because this gun, government gun was needed. So I was taken there. And that place was so horrible because that is a place in the midst of Nairobi. Maybe when you visit there. Yes, it was a torture chambers where politicians used to be taken. So I was taken there for 2 months. And it's a dark place whereby when you are locked there, they can forget you even for a week. So eating was not a case. You can be forgotten there. That place has water and rats. I was chained. I was sitting on a nail seat. I think you are locked. I used to be tortured with that. Even now, I have scars in my thighs, whereby I used to be tortured with electric bands. I know those torturing bands. So, and I always say that. That's why I was telling Pastor Miller how you people are doing, because this connecting people to God, even after taking them through this program, that is the key. Because I remember even when I was in prison, one year I was detained in Kamiti. It's called it's well known in East Africa. I think Madam, even if you go to the maximum prison in Kenya called Kamiti, whereby all kind of capital offenders are there. So we are now in that prison. That's where they introduce the inmates produce number plates, car number plates. All are made there. Imagine you are jail, and also I was taken to a department of number plates, and that spirit still could speak in the prison. We could make those number plates with a corrupt prison warden, and those number plates could go out from the prison and do those number plates. Those were not the original number plate put on over the another registration number. Now that can do over it without police chase, because it is a number plate that can be removed. Imagine in prison and you are doing those things even outside. You can be able to send those number plates outside, do all manner of car jacket, car debt, and then you will get money in the prison. And people realize that what is happening now is beyond normal person. This is a spiritual. Because even when we take an addict or a gangster, still we don't see the decrease of crime or drugs. It's still going on. So that's to show that devil has no body. He just hire your body, use you, and when you are killed, the spirit of addiction or robbery will go and enter in another family. Until when I realize that this thing now it is beyond me. In prison, that's where I accepted God. In prison. By the way, before I was released, I was sentenced with in Kenya we have something they call robbery with violence charge. Robbery with violence charge. That's where we have used weapon, you have used force, and also they include that you can kill. So they don't say you can kill, they say you have killed. So that is why it becomes robbery with violence charge, and that was to be had. And then that thing happened. Remember appearing in one judge for 3 times in 1 year. Until now, he told me, when they come again to my bar, I will hang you. And that is what happened. When I was shot, we had gone for another robbery, but it failed. Now that is the time I was caught. Remember, I am shot, I have crutches, and then I appeared before the bar, the judge was warning. He never speaks that way to listen to somebody. I remember he said, "Customer, you have come again." And he likes and then he goes the fight. There I started the journey for my destination, and I was waiting to be hanged by the way. The appeal did go through. But by the 1993, there were so many prisoners, political prisoners in Kenya who were jailed in the same jail. So then the late President Moi used to visit. Yeah, that story is in the records. So he visited there. When he visited there, always those who have visited jail, they know that in Kenya, when they are counting people, you used to have to join group of 5, and then you squat. Yeah, you group of 5 you squat. That is they call it cover. To cover, you are counted. So I could not be able to squat, neither to run, because I had crutches. And the president was stated on the dais. So he said, "Let that young man pass." I thought, because now the pillars refused, it has been denied. Maybe I want to be killed in front of people to be an example. That's what they say in Kenya. To be killed in the front of the president to be an example. But without knowing that was my day off, I was given diet pardon according to the age, and I was very tight body with the judges saying, "You are in a capital offense." He requested by then jail commander was Boyd Marek. Said, "Can you release this boy to go home?" And I was released. And then I go. But before then, there is another interesting story. When I was coming to my end, I remember what made me change my thinking is when we were so happy. We wanted to steal a golden image of him. Yes, in a certain temple in Nairobi. And we managed to take this goddess, Hindu, in a temple. But what happened is that where this goddess, small g, was put they had a milk boxes where they feed this god. And because we are under influence, we started by drinking this milk of this god. And one of my friends said, this God cannot even speak for himself. We are taking his milk and he's not speaking. So finally, we finished milk and then we take God. For 7 days, that God remained in my house. He never spoke about anything. That's when I started, why do these people pray about this God? He's here. He cannot even lay himself back. And so many people would say, have you seen the Hindus movie? This thing can change to be something else. Say, no, if he can not move from here to here, this is an idol, cannot change. And because he was God, it was pure gold, we sold it. And we divided money. And that God will never speak for himself. So we decided there is another God. Amen. Who hears, who works, who speak, who directs, and that's how I decided to follow today. And from that day, we decided I would be reaching out to young men and women. And I started with my group, people who used to be in my group. From the slums of Nairobi, we started going like that. Then we joined giving back to community, whereby we share our testimonies, reach out to young men and women, and let me tell you, because I know you visit there. People, we have so many success stories. People have come to the church, to our programs, sometimes they call it the surrender guns, something that have never happened even to the government of Kenya. I remember there was something, which system are you using? Because when you give these people a shot at window, they will trust you with their stories. When we started, they started hearing, because my story now is almost shared in Kenya. All houses, including houses, social media, everywhere is a story that is known. No, now if you could, they could hear my story, even they accept me to their heads, because before we invite them to come to the program, you have to find those, make a point where you visit where they are, speak with them, they trust you, you share them with their story, where God has taken you from, and then you invite them. That's how we have been doing. And they have been accepted. Even people, sometimes people ask, how do these people come to the program? And we don't call them, we don't have forms. Some of them, they don't have even forms. So they know. We meet at this time what we are sharing, and they know that the moment they come here there and they share the story, it's over. Because one thing you say that we cannot give their story even to anybody, even our children. We are so faithful in keeping their stories, because some of the stories they share stories when you yourself. You fear. See, somebody yesterday I stabbed somebody. Now that story cannot go share. When you give them that show that they trust you with your stories, that's how we have built that validation, and that's how we have made them come and trust us that we can keep their stories. It is a very long story, but sharing just a part of where God has come, taken you from. It has helped them, given them to trust you that you can keep their stories, and you can even be able to help them. We have given them show that we know, and quite now transform what we call a tremendous transformation. Yeah. Because some have gone back to job. We have even some people from scratch, Reverend Mashai, we have taken them from down there, where people are saying this is over. Even I remember there's another one who said, we are not going to talk with them, we will kill them. Say no, before you kill them, let us have time is that today some of them even they are broken. They have transformed by God's grace. Some of them in Turkey. You see even another somebody from our program now is buying a land. He's building. Travel to Turkey, get money by God's grace. He's bought a land. He's building. Some have restored their wives. Some of them have been restored to the community because reintegration it has been a key. Wherever we take them, because some of them just say we don't want to see so and so in this community. He has disturbed people, we don't want to see him. So after restoration, we do reintegration. We call the authority, we call the parents, then we give them back to the community. And have been a transformation because those people have changed some of their, now they have families, some of them have done weddings. So by doing these small things, bring transformation. Me finishing with the word, and there is an article I saw that keep me moving. That God did not create us, all brought us in this world. Just to consume resources, occupy space, and then die like God again. But He has brought us in this world to make a difference and to give in a very small way, which God has made will enable just small change, a transformation, contribution to this to bring a transformation in this world. That makes the heart of God happy. So God bless you for listening to me.